I believe you're a big dork.
Mabel and Dipper Pines, we totally miss you in all your adventures in Gravity Falls. We know you sometimes got into way too much trouble and that life in Gravity Falls was pretty crazy, but you had fans all over the world. Unfortunately, some of your shenanigans just didn't translate well.
Impossible!
It turns out that you and your friends could be a little offensive to people in other countries, but we know you guys didn't do that on purpose.
It's not fair.
Gravity Falls was a hilarious show, but there were quite a few scenes that had to be edited in other countries. Check out these 10 scenes that were changed for international audiences.
Well, I do know the lammy dance.
What the heck? In English, heck is considered a kid-friendly exclamation, but in other countries it is still considered inappropriate. Almost every example of heck is cut in the Southeast Asian version of Gravity Falls. One example is in the episode A Tale of Two Stands. Mabel asks,
What the heck is going on here?
but the international version censors that word. Instead, she just asks what is going on. At least the meaning wasn't lost. Lost in translation. Okay, we know that Mabel is never afraid to speak her mind, and she isn't always the most polite person when she's upset. But Disney Channel considered her lines appropriate for kids, at least in the US. But her very first major insult was not okay for other countries. In Tourist Trapped, Mabel is understandably upset that the gnomes expect her to marry them. She calls them all a certain mean name.
You guys are butt faces!
But in other countries, this insult was just changed to "You guys are faces." The end of Stan Pines. We were shocked when we found out the truth about Stan Pines. Who knew that he had a twin brother trapped in another dimension? The episode Not What He Seems revealed a lot of information. We can't forget how we felt when Dipper and Mabel found the newspaper. The headline said that,
What? Stan Pine's dead?
but this was changed in Latin America. The headline instead read, The End of Stan Pines. That sounds way more dramatic than the English version. No more violence. American shows tend to have a lot more violence than other countries. A lot of places don't consider this very family-friendly. One example of a violent scene being censored in Gravity Falls comes from the first season finale. The episode Gideon Rises has Mabel and Dipper trying to save the Mystery Shack from getting Gleeful. They recruit the gnomes to help. The gnomes attack Gideon's guards and the guards collapse. This scene was cut from the Asian broadcasts. Dipper's awkward moment. Who doesn't ship Dipper and Wendy? Poor Dipper had such a crush on her for so long, and he just wasn't smooth at all. In the episode Into the Bunker, he has a horrifying moment. He agrees with Wendy that all they'll ever be is friends.
Dude, you're laying on my bra.
And he freaks out. But this scene wasn't appropriate in other countries, so it was cut. Zombies are dumb. Okay, we get that insults aren't very nice, and we understand that it's less appropriate in other countries. But is it seriously not okay to insult zombies? They're monsters, and zombies aren't that smart. Dipper, Mabel, and Stan defeat the zombies by singing in karaoke. Stan yells,
Deal with it, zombie idiots!
but several countries cut this word from the scene. Can't believe they cut that line? Keep watching to find out which entire scene was cut and why. Gosh hand Huckleberry! One of the funniest parts of Gravity Falls is the way the characters swear without saying real swear words. And Bud Gleeful is a character who says some hilarious fake curse words. In The Stanchurian Candidate, Bud unleashes a long string of fake bad words, but he includes the word darn a couple of times.
Gosh darn it! Gosh heck, Huckleberry honeysuckle darn it!
In the Southeast Asian broadcast of the show, darn was cut, so he just says, Gosh hand Huckleberry honeysuckle. Girl problems. Poor Dipper. In Roadside Attraction, he was just trying to learn how to talk to girls. Instead, he ends up with multiple dates. The girls are obviously upset, but then he really needs their help to save Stan from Darlene. He tells
Stan's in trouble! You can totally kill me later!
joking about murder doesn't translate well to international audiences. This line was cut from other versions of the show to make it more culturally appropriate. Greg in a graveyard. Different cultures handle loss differently, and graveyards don't look the same all over the world. In America, you might expect to see lots of stone crosses in a graveyard, but since other religions are more common in Asia, you wouldn't technically see this. In the final episode of Gravity Falls, we see Greg Valentino pushing a zombie back into the ground. There's a stone cross at the front of the shot.
Good as new.
This cross was blurred out in the Asian broadcasts of the show. Mini golf crime scene. Vandalism is a crime pretty much everywhere you go, so in some countries a scene from the Gulf War wasn't quite as funny. Robbie Valentino spray paints the word wieners at the mini golf place. This could also be seen as inappropriate. He gets run off by the Mattress King. We can't see it, but the Mattress King says,
Hey, those are lewd hand gestures!
wow, that's a lot of things in the scene that aren't family friendly. The whole scene was cut in other countries for obvious reasons. Before you go, tell us who your favorite Gravity Falls character is in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Things. We'll catch you next time.